So welcome back to the Dunwoody Dialogues. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody, and I'm Mark Galvin, your host, and I am going to tell you, this is not a special show. I am in the middle of pollen season like all of you, and so if I sound a little weird, it's because I do sound weird. I want to let you know that we are so excited to interview all the great people in and around Dunwoody. We bring great people here, and you probably already know this too, that we are very interested in the film and entertainment industry because we want all of them to know about our hotels, shopping, and restaurants and parks. And today, we are going to introduce you to a leader in the industry and congratulate her on winning a great award called the Distinguished Production Associate of the Year Award, which was awarded at the recent Behind the Lens Awards. And I said awards a lot there because it's so exciting to say award. Now, Dunwoody was honored to host this program right here in our fine city, and we were happy to hand out the awards affectionately known as the Funwoodies. Our guest today is Ebony Blanding. Ebony, welcome.
Thank you.
So she is a behind the lens person. So we brought you, we got you in front of the lens. How's it feel?
I'm comfortable.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that chair? You like the chair?
It's comfortable. I'm nice and cozy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Low to the ground. You're feeling good. See,
feel sturdy.
We work with our film and entertainment folks to pick the entire set.
It shows.
So, well, I'm glad that you like that.
Absolutely.
That's so important. So let me tell you a little bit about Ebony. She is a Southern rooted writer and director who creates powerful films highlighting Black experiences. Her award-winning work includes content from or for major publications and festivals like South by Southwest. As co-founder of House of June, she's currently the first emerging creative in residence at Trilith Institute, where she's directing her debut feature film, A Mess of Memories. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I hear it's in post-production. What does that actually mean to people who don't know those words?
It's like we're doing the final revision of writing on it.
Okay.
Yes, coming all together.
So does that mean all the filming is done? It's in
the can, as they say, and we are putting the cut together.
Okay.
And it's a joint collaboration between myself and my creative team and Trilith.
I love that. So are you driving back and forth to Trilith a lot? Is that a easy drive?
Mostly for like the bigger screenings where execs come in.
Okay.
But we did a lot of the cutting downtown at Picture Shop.
Okay, good. You say the screenings with executives. Why do you do that?
I think a lot of it is for them to see, obviously, how it's coming together, but to help shape the pacing, to see if there are more clever ways or different ways to just approach the story.
All right.
And I think it's dope just to have like different perspectives weigh in.
That's great. When do you start raising money? When does a film start making money?
Ooh, the money talk.
Yeah, I hate that.
I know, right? So for filmmakers, we typically go about it by applying to, I should say, independent filmmakers. We go about applying to grants, whether it be like local or nationwide. We get private investments if you're so lucky.
Good.
I had the real fortunate opportunity through Trilith for them to fund the whole project.
Nice.
So I didn't have to like do what I've done in the past, which is like have like 5 different grants that I have to cobble together to make one film, or do like a Seed and Spark or Kickstarter. It was a really amazing opportunity to have all of the funding come from one source.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is great. And that's a result of what I mentioned before was you are a emerging creative in residence at Trilith. Oh, that's great. Well, let's talk about the award that you just won.
Yeah.
Such a cool thing. Was it a surprise?
I'm always surprised, when I'm nominated for something.
Oh, come on.
I am.
Really?
I sincerely am. I think, and not to, not necessarily lean into wanting accolades and stuff, because who doesn't want those things? Like, you want to be seen.
Sure.
But I mean, I think you do the work, especially for independent filmmakers. You do the work because you love it. And if you get recognized, it's a cherry on top, but you don't go about it expecting it.
That's great.
So to know that I was nominated, I was so excited. Who doesn't love a good nomination? And then to hear my name, I froze. My fiance had to say, "Get up." So yeah, I was shooketh. I'll say that.
I love this. So, yeah, I think we do this in life. right?
Yeah.
You don't go through life doing things for awards, but it is nice to get a pat on the back, isn't it?
It's very nice.
That's sweet. You said you cried in your car.
Yeah, I cried in my car. I think like
Wow.
all of the emotions of just feeling seen. I always tell folks like to be based in Georgia, to be from Georgia, and to be able to bloom where you're planted. It's just honestly a blessing,
That
and
is
I
a
don't
blessing.
take it for granted. And then, to be able to further my community, expand my community. Now, like y'all are my family, you can't get rid of me.
Love that. We don't
Yep,
want to get rid of
it's
you.
not going to happen. So that in itself just made me feel as though like, oh my God, all the work I've done has led me here. Yeah.
Well, you deserve the award.
Thank you.
100%. And it warms my heart, and I really do mean this. It warms my heart to know that it meant so much to you.
Thank you.
Right?
Absolutely.
That is such a cool thing. And you deserve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The business that Ebony is in is difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love this question. How do you pay the bills when you're doing something? Well, oftentimes films don't make any money till they are on the screen or streaming, right?
Yeah.
And that can be a long wait, right? And I'm sure that major filmmakers pay their producers when they're doing these gazillion-dollar films, but you're not in that space yet.
Yeah.
So you're in that space. You got to produce it. You got to get out there, and hopefully it succeeds and makes money. How do you pay the bills in between?
So that is something that I've always circled around, and full transparency, I come from, like a lot of folks, right, in this work, a working class family. So it's one of those things, even when I was getting into the arts, I knew that the support that I was going to have, I was going to be able to get all the hugs, all the kisses, but when it came to folks writing checks, that wasn't
Right.
something that was necessarily the most feasible.
Sure.
So having a job is something that I always did, and I never had shame with having a job and being an artist. I think for me, though, as I started to want to do more art, and I couldn't necessarily do it because of the scheduling with having a 9 to 5, I took a leap of faith. So I was working for Girl Scouts. Shout out to Girl Scouts. And really was fortunate to have a really cool job, met some amazing people, but being there didn't allow me to fully lean into my creative practice. So I was talking to one of my mentors. She's an amazing woman in film, and she said, hey, kid, it comes a time you have to take a leap of faith. How's your savings looking? And I was like, savings? What do you mean? And she was like, start saving. Start doing that. So I started saving, and I was able to take the leap of faith. And then from there, I had to take another leap of faith. And that leap of faith returned me back to doing a 9 to 5.
Wow.
So I think for some of us, like we have those periods where it's like, I'm just going to do freelance work. I'm going to just go out and see how many connections and networking I can do. And then, the ebbs and flows of everything.
Right.
You might come to a point where it's like, oh, wow, I need health insurance. And I'm not in the union yet. Or, wow, I had a really big bill come up, and it'd be really amazing if I had more frequent money coming in. So I like to tell folks, I'm so grateful for that question, because I think sometimes the feeling that you cannot be an artist and also just hold down a 9 to 5.
Right.
And I think that keeps a lot of folks feeling as though they're not enough. And as long as you are creating, regardless of the pace that you have to create, if you have to get a 9 to 5, get a 9 to 5. I think the best way that I create is feeling stable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Listen, I started my own company one time, and the stress that can go through some of that work kept me from being extremely effective.
That's real.
Right? So, yeah, you got to have insurance. And so, just in case, it helps you sleep at night, which allows you to be more creative.
Yeah,
You have those
absolutely.
needs. Well, I'm impressed. I'm always impressed with anybody in the film and entertainment industry that really have taken that leap of faith like you have. And it really comes down to this: believes in yourself. You have to believe in yourself to know, I can do this. I have something to offer.
Yes.
I think that's great. Well, speaking of something to offer, let's talk about your Southern roots.
Yeah.
Our Southern roots, right? We're both native Atlantans. You don't see too many of us in the same place at the same time. But how have your Southern roots shaped your storytelling?
So I grew up in Atlanta, and I was able to see summers filled with kids busting open fire hydrants. Not supposed to do that. Playing in fire hydrants. in the parks. I saw women and elders on their porches, de-stemming collard greens and getting together their Sunday dinner.
I'm getting real community here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like really being able to see my coming of age story, I think was something that I just was very tapped into at an early age. Like how colorful folks were, how connected they were, how they worked through problems. Sometimes that was colorful.
Sure.
So I think a lot of just being able to have a childhood where not only was I able to adventure in Atlanta, like I was riding MARTA with my homies and doing all that stuff and a bunch of shenanigans at times.
That's part of being young.
But also having, like I told you, back to the porch, having those elders say you're supposed to be in the house by the time the street lights come on.
Wow.
Like just having so many deepened connections, I really feel as though that really spun me into storytelling. I come from a family of griots, really great storytellers. My dad is one of the best storytellers ever. And so I think I just had a natural inclination to leaning towards story. And then growing up and just seeing Spike Lee films. And I'm like, oh my God, that looks so cool. But it's in New York, you know? And then thinking like, okay, so what does my coming of age story look like in the Southern landscape? So I think really coming from a community that I felt nurtured and that felt very alive inspired me to want to tell stories about it.
The stability of being in a community that you just described gives you the strength
Yeah,
to be where you are today.
absolutely.
What makes a good storyteller?
Honesty.
Who? Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can be honest and not be a good storyteller,
Well,
right?
touche. I think starting with honesty for me, it makes you a storyteller. So I'll
Okay,
start there.
all right.
And I think what makes you a good storyteller is subjective, obviously.
Sure.
But for me, it is the courage to tell a story in a way where the wounds they are open. But you also are trying to heal. And so for me, the best storytelling, the most rich storytelling comes from having real life experiences that you can share, but also in that sharing, because some things are so raw, you have some salve there. Like you don't leave people wounded. You know, you might have to excavate some things and you might have like wounds that are like not completely scabbed over, but you want folks to heal from a story.
I think people want to see their character struggle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Contend with all the things.
Yeah, because, and I think that makes characters more interesting, right? And, you have a hero in a story and the hero has some serious flaws, but you want to see them figure their way through those things
Yeah.
and solve them. Oh, I love that. I think that that's just brilliant. Didn't mean to challenge you there on
No,
being
no
honest,
worries.
but there's
That's a good one,
more
though.
to it, though.
Yeah.
And we were preparing for this video. I thought, oh my gosh, we could go for hours,
Yeah.
and I would love to tease more of that. Just personally, I think that's very interesting. Storytelling in and of itself is a gift, right? And
Yeah.
you've learned it. You were trained at home. Your dad
Yeah.
taught you how to do that. I just think that's such a great thing. Let's talk about Mess of Memories. So what is, give me a little bit about the theme and where's that story going? What's the identity?
Yeah.
There's some honesty in that.
Absolutely.
What does that look
So when I was pitching A Mess of Memories, it was very important for me to pitch a story that was contained, because I knew that from the studio perspective, they would be more kind of revved up to make something that didn't have like a million locations, right? And so I think, and I wanted to share that bit because I know that there are a lot of storytellers who are watching this and we want to get our projects made. I think sometimes identifying the project that has the easiest lift
Sure.
will allow us to be able to, get the funding for it. So in pitching that idea, I went through my little Google folder of scrap ideas. And I saw that I was very interested in hoarding.
Okay.
I watched the show Hoarders a lot.
Oh, a mess.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm getting
And
this.
I watch it to sometimes motivate me to clean up, to get my life in order.
Do you keep stuff that you don't need?
I have an infatuation right now currently with glass jars.
Okay.
They're so cute. The smaller, the better. So in pitching that, wanting to do something that was contained, wanting to do something that had limited characters as well. And I came upon, hoarding. I'm really interested in that. And as I was thinking about just family dramas and how I have seen Black representation in family dramas, I haven't seen a lot of it, to be honest with you, when it comes to just like family movies and the family dynamic in feature films. And so for me, I was like, how can I blend a story that allows us to see a family, some hoarding, and then I came about, okay, this family will be grappling with a parent who can't let go of things.
Oh, okay.
And I think back to the theme of things of the story, a lot of times we all struggle with letting go, whether it's different vices, whether it's different trauma, and then getting to the other side of what it looks like to let go, which I think is healing. So the theme of A Mess of Memories is healing can be messy. It can be a struggle within itself, but in that healing, in that messiness, there is some opportunity for families to come back together.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it.
That is really cool. And, and I think back to the human beings,
Yeah.
we sometimes fight healing.
Oh my God.
Right? So sometimes we know what's good for us and we go, not going to do that.
You're calling me out. That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of that process. I think I love that. And I'm sorry that there's not been a lot of movies about families.
Well, right? I think
we need more of that.
Yeah, I think in totality, when I just look at the cinema landscape, it's always kind of chasing what's the new trend, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
And so I think sometimes you might have like family dramas, but now it's like behind a sci-fi backdrop. Okay. Which I think is cool.
Sure.
But I think sometimes just having very grounded realities is enough. Like, I don't think we have to like go to space, or we don't have to be like saving the Oval Office. We can just be like trying to wrangle the family together. I think that alone is really interesting.
Listen, I do. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's a shame that, listen, studios need to make money.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
We know they need to make money. And one of the best ways to make money is to go to do something that you already know about. Mm-hmm. Hey, Star Wars sold a few tickets.
Yeah.
So let's just recreate Star Wars again and again and again. And you know what? I went to all of them. Right? Yeah. I saw Star Wars with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad traveled. I went and saw Star Wars with him over the summer when I was traveling with him. That's a memory. I'll always go to watch those. Mm-hmm. But the real good stories today, back to storytelling, it's human.
Yeah.
It's the human struggle. And what can I get out of this, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. I love that a lot. All right. We talked about Mess of Memories. Yeah. I want to know about co-founding the House of June. How has it changed you as a filmmaker?
So the House of June was co-founded by myself and my partner. I call her my art life partner.
Okay.
Her name is Amber. She's an incredible filmmaker, and she currently works in the union as a camera operator.
Okay. Amber McLean, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And so Amber and I were students at Georgia State. We were in line to get equipment. And in this class, we stuck out like a sore thumb. There was, I think, 4 girls in totality in the whole program at that time.
Wow.
And then she was the only other black girl. So it was like, hey, girl, hey, I see you. So we're standing in line. And to this day, she's like, you spoke to me first. I'm like, you spoke to me first. It probably was me. I'm more talkative. And I asked her what she did. And she told me, and she was like, I'm a DP and director. And I was like, I'm a writer-director. And she was like, I just want to do really cool films that show Black existence, in a full way. And then I was like, girl, that's what I want to do.
That's so interesting.
And we also wanted to be very conscientious of having women and diverse folks behind the camera. So our missions really aligned, and we met up at a cafe.
How long ago was this?
Oh, my God. So you're going to make me age myself.
No? Okay. No, you can scratch that. You don't have to answer that.
But at least 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when we met up at a cafe, we kicked around a whole bunch of ideas that we could shoot a short project. We were really inspired by Issa Rae, her doing her web series. And so from there, we just started creating films in our apartments, in our homies' apartments. If we went to your house and you had a cool house, I'd be like, can I film in your house?
Sure. I don't have a cool house, but you're welcome to come.
And so just really being able to tinker and just kind of find our voice together.
Right.
That really allowed me to build up my portfolio. It allowed for me to build community. It allowed for me to really identify my strengths as a writer-director early on, and also the chinks in my armor.
Sure.
And Amber and I, we complement each other. Like, a lot of my strengths are vice versa for her and the other way around.
Oh, that's great.
So we were able just to kind of workshop our gifts with each other.
You know, the beautiful thing about creatives, and this is creatives wherever, in any industry, anywhere, right, is you get to play. You do something. Say, does that work? No. Does this work? And I think, regrettably, our education system says, okay, you got to get an A on that test, right? And you get one shot at making that A. It is so much healthier to play and see if it gets better, and you're going to get better over time. Now, I could argue, this is a bad argument, but okay, that first one, that wasn't good. But was it a failure? No, you were learning.
Yeah.
And being able to build that, you build your funnel of experience just shows you get better and better and better. We all need to do that as human beings. We need to fail.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all case studies.
I like that. We all need more case studies. I think that's fantastic. Well, we are spot on at a time. And I do have more questions to throw at you. And I just wanted to say personally, I'm so glad you won this award.
Thank you.
You clearly earned it. You have so many more things that you're going to do in your future. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, thank you.
But the energy that you share, just sitting here with me, if it's conveyed in a mess of memories, no matter how messy it is, it's going to be good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that is just so cool. So, if someone here wanted to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Well, I have a website. It is ebonyblanding.com.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
All right, spell Ebony.
Ebony. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's
Some
not
people
an I on
spell
the
with an
end.
I. Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Ebonyblanding.com.
Yes.
That easy. And who would you love? Somebody's watching this. Who would you love to reach out to you? Somebody with a deep pocket and want to do a feature film.
There we
Wouldn't
go.
that be good? Bring it on.
Bring it on. Always looking for funding, but always also just looking for mentorship as well.
Oh, good.
There's so many other spaces I want to be in, and until you know what's on the other side of it, you can't prepare yourself. So if there are folks who work in episodic and feature films that are like, the budgets are bigger, I want to learn from you.
I think that's great. So what do you think the future is of film in Georgia?
I think the future of film in Georgia is so full of imagination and creativity. I think that we have so many untapped stories here. I think that the geography we have here allows us to tell so many different, robust, eclectic stories.
Good.
So I think the future of filmmaking in Georgia is bright. And I think in regards to independent filmmaking in Georgia, like us being and championing more makers, if you will, I think there is so much more is going to come from when we have more funding opportunities and when we just have more opportunities for folks to make their projects. So I'm so grateful for all the work that you all do. And folks like Trilith and just all the folks who are like building communities and building support, because we have to get our films made. We have to get folks talking about our work.
Right.
And so it just feels like we are in a really good place to grow and expand.
I love that. I love that a lot. Well, folks, definitely, you're going to have to go check out our website. You need to go make sure that you see a mess of memories. Where do you think it'll go first? Where do you think
So we're going to be in the
screening?
festival circuit.
Okay.
I have my fingers crossed that hopefully folks will see us at Bronzelands Film Festival.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's in Atlanta.
Yep.
When's that coming up?
I'm not quite sure.
It's at least 6 months away, right?
At least,
Ish.
yeah.
Okay, good. Are we ready? So is it a time thing if you make it to the Bronze Festival?
That's what it is,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, I hope that works out.
Thank you.
Right, and if it's at wherever, if I got to go to Colorado to watch it, just let me know. I'll get on a plane
Absolutely.
ticket. All right, that's great. And for you folks, we appreciate all of you watching. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. Our producer, our singular producer. She's our producer. She's our sound tech. She's running the water. She's running the microphones. I'm just going to tell you what, this is a huge shout out to Madison Holtz. We so appreciate her and everything she does. Yes, a round of applause. I love that. Every show we talk about this, and I'm still surprised that not every Dunwoodian has a Dunwoody sticker on their car. We give these away. You can come here to the office and get them. You can go to NFA Burger. We recently met with the library. We made sure they have them. City Hall. If you can't find them, go to discoverdunwoody.com, send us a message. We will make sure you get a sticker, and they are free. I'll even pay the shipping to send them to you. We'd love to get you a Dunwoody sticker. We are all over social media. Go to you can find us just with our handle, Discover Dunwoody, on Instagram. We were, in fact, at a brand new restaurant over at Politan Row filming today. That'll end up on our social media feeds very soon. Or go check out our website, discoverdunwoody.com. And if there are events you're looking for, what's going on in the city of Dunwoody, go check that out, discoverdunwoody.com/events. We'd love to let you see all those great things. We have so many things we share on our website. It is absolutely fantastic. I want to make sure you go there. Ebony, I've wrapped. That's it. Thank you for being here.
You.
Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for the support of the work that we're trying to do. And I know our paths will continue to cross, and I look forward to that.
Absolutely.
And for the rest of you, thank you for watching. And now, come discover Dunwoody.